God, no, no. I've been trying. I like have been coughing nonstop before I, actually started the video, and like right as I press go, I get another coughing fit. Oh, jeez, that's fine. Yeah, coughing fit because there's high pollution today. Yay, pollution. Yeah, that's like one of the major downsides of living in China is the pollution level is sometimes, a lot of the times, absolutely ridiculous. Like, and now we're in winter, and that's when the pollution level is just like the highest that it gets throughout the year. And so me, with my little asthmatic self, moved to China, knowing full well that this would be a major problem for me. I've got my air purifiers going, like, and everything, but it's still, like, especially when it's super high, if I even go, like, near a window, it will affect me and start to make me cough and stuff. So, what is the pollution today? Today, last I checked, it was like 180 something. And so for frame of reference, like, because people that haven't lived in like high pollution can never fathom like high pollution. What is that even like? So my frame of reference that I give people is like if you live in LA, if you live in New York, right? Those are considered some of the most highly polluted air quality wise cities in America. So at its highest, and I mean the highest, and I keep it on my phone, I check, I've seen LA at like 99. Or New York on like a really bad day will get to like 101. So for those of you that like have been to New York and LA and you're like, oh my God, it's so smoggy, it's terrible pollution, and you're like, or like when you fly into New York especially, and you just see that like that yellow haze and stuff, you're like, oh, ew, that's disgusting. Keep in mind that's only 101. Here today is 182. We're almost at 200 here. So it's a lot worse. And so like you think the haze in New York is bad. Like if you go and you like look out into the distance, you can see just like it almost looks like a thick fog, right? A really thick fog, except it's not. It's smog, it's pollution, and it can kill you. I mean, not immediately. Well, I mean, if you have asthma like me, maybe, but it can't kill you for the most part, but it does do long-term damage. And so, like, I have to be super careful about pollution. Like, when I go out, I always check my phone. I'm like, what's the pollution level today? All right, I have to wear this mask. Or if it's, like, above 200, then I have to wear this mask. And, like, if it's above 300, I just don't go outside, period. And that's been a source of contention, I guess, for a lot of the jobs that I've done here. And they're like, oh, you can't come to work today. I'm like, nope, it is 350 pollution outside. 350, okay? Like, unless you've lived in this, you cannot imagine. Like, you open up the window and it looks like the thickest fog you have ever seen in your entire life. Like fog. Imagine if you've ever been in fog so thick that you can only see like maybe 10 feet in front of you. That's what 300 pollution is like. And when I first got here, it in winters average it was like there were days where it would be 500 plus pollution. Like schools would close down, not because of snow days, not because of a holiday, but because pollution days. Like pollution is so high, they would send kids home from school. But then the kids would be really happy and then they'd go outside to play. Because a lot of the locals, since this is what they have known for so long, they don't really care about pollution. They really don't. Some of the locals do, especially if they are ones that have been like educated abroad, or like they have children with asthma, or they have something like that. They have some kind of awareness of pollution, but by and large, it's not. Like, I'll never forget when I was working at a school, it was wintertime and pollution was 200 and something outside, right? But one of the locals goes and is like, I'm gonna open up the window to get some fresh air. And we're like, what? Fresh air. 250 pollution, and you're like, fresh air? And like it's mind-boggling. It's really mind-boggling how like unaware or like just like it's not just mind-boggling, it's frustrating because you have like the foreign staff. There you go, ASMR for you, the angry ASMR. You have like the foreign staff on one hand going like, it is literally looks like the apocalypse outside. Why the hell are you opening up a window? And then you have the Chinese staff on the other hand that are like, what? It's always like this. It's fine. We want some fresh air. Or what they love to say, 里面有味儿,有味儿, which is basically like it has a smell inside. There's a smell inside. So we have to open up the window to get rid of the whir. So I'm just like, the smell is not that important. Like it's not more important than your health. Like it's not more important than breathing in pollution that's the equivalent of 2 packets of cigarettes a day. Like, I can deal with a smell for that. Like, it's not that important. And not only that, I would say almost all the places that I have worked had no form of air purification at all. Like, no air purifiers, no nothing. Even though they know that pollution gets really, really high, they're just like, no, it's fine, it's perfectly fine. And, like, so me, I would buy my own air purifier and bring it to the office. And they're just all like, oh, you're doing the absolute most, Fong Fong. Like, oh man, that crazy foreigner with her air purifier when it's 200 plus pollution. And like I don't know how to feel about it. Oh, guys, they're fighting. Oops. Oh, my cats just had like a little fight when one ran away. Be nice. Be nice to each other, guys. Uh, but yeah, like, it's really frustrating because they make me seem like I'm the crazy one or like I'm the irrational one for wanting to have, clean air to breathe. Like, I'll be like, okay, and like even in my own apartment, I'll be like, the windows are staying closed. They're like, oh, but Fong Fong, you have a smell in your house. You need to open the window. No, close my damn window. Like, it is 160, 70 pollution outside. On the app, it literally is like, red, unhealthy, stay indoors. But to them, it's just like, oh no, it's a lovely day. So it does. It hurts when they make you feel like that you're the one that's crazy for wanting to make sure that you breathe in, decent air. And I know my air isn't like 100% pure and great and stuff, but having the air purifiers in my house that are running constantly in the wintertime, like near constantly, is much better than nothing at all, or just pretending that it doesn't exist. And so I've asked my Chinese coworkers and my Chinese friends, I'm like, aren't you worried about the air pollution? And they go, oh, well, it's much better than it was before. And I'm like, okay, yeah, is this true? They're not lying. Like before, oh jeez, like before, air quality was like 600, like, and before 500 was the norm, like not the exception where they had to close down schools, but like throughout most of winter, it was 500 plus pollution. Now, on average, I would say it's about, you get a couple of days, maybe 2 days that are 500, but the rest are still sitting at like a solid 300, 200 to 300 range. You get those times where like some air will blow in and just be like 300 pollution. And then on the app that I use, when it's 300 pollution, it literally says hazardous. Like, red is unhealthy, purple is very unhealthy, and then it goes to brown, which is hazardous. And I'm just like, I have to live in this. Like, I have to live in literally hazardous breathing conditions. And so I'm so thankful for my masks. Where are my masks? I should go get my mask. Oh, shit. Hang on. I'm going to go get my mask real quick. Jeez, another coughing fit. Yeah, so I spilled water on myself. I had to drink some water to help with the coughing. But, so, my mask. So, basically, it depends on what level of pollution it is outside. So, basically, if it says like 137, like 120 to 140-ish is about, it says like unsafe for sensitive individuals, meaning me. So, on those days I wear like this. It's like, I don't know if you can see it, but it's like a rest, I think, what is this brand? Techno. This was literally, shit, all the ASMR today. This is literally like the first mask that I got when I came to China, and it basically just like fits over. So I call this my Darth Vader mask because I think it looks really cool. But yeah, so that's like when pollution is low, like, and then if pollution is like, say, 150 to say 160 to 70, then I wear this guy, which is, I don't even remember the brand of this one. It's like a local Chinese one, and so a local Chinese brand, so, you know, this is when pollution is fairly, it's high by Western standards, but by Chinese standards it's low. So I wear this instead. And so if I like cover it, it's actually really difficult to breathe if I cover up all the little holes on the front. So that is good. And then if pollution is like getting up there, like closer to 200-ish, like 160, 70, 80, 90, then I break up this bad boy here. So once again, this is like more of a local Chinese brand kind of. And so I will take this, put it on. And yeah, this is, oh, and what I like about this one is because it actually comes, it's like there's a little motor inside that is like kind of like a mini air purifier. So wait, let me see if I can turn it on. Hang on. You can be able to hear it with the microphone. You hear it? So that's this, and so that's why I like this for when pollution is high, and it has 3 settings. So that was the first one, and if I click the button again, it goes like, it goes like really, you can get really up there. And so this guy can take me through to about, like, from, like I said, 170, 80 to about 250 is what this guy's designed for. Hi, Sophie. She's not climbing Cat Everest today. She's, like, right here begging to get into my lap. So I might pick her up here soon. I don't know. And then this is the last one. This is when it's 300 and above. So this guy, once again, it is a local brand. I have no idea. The first one is, I think it's a European brand. It's like designed for people that ride bikes or if they're around cars and on the road a lot. And so this guy here, it's nice and pink. And so it is, my pollution is really fucking high. And like when I have to leave the house on high pollution days, then I wear this. So it's like, you know, it fits like this. And no one can understand what I'm saying when I have this on. Like, so I hate it so much because it's like, I try to talk to people and just like, my name is Bane. I was born in the darkness. Like, that's what it makes me sound like friggin' Bane from Batman. But yeah, so those are all of my different masks, and that what sucks is that for each one of those, like, I constantly have to change the filters inside of them. So for example, my Bane mask the filter is fairly obvious. I can pull it out real quick. Yeah, so this is the filter that is inside of good old Bane mask here, and this is one of 3. There are actually 3 different sets of filters in here, so I have to make sure that I have enough and that I replace them regularly. And the same thing with this guy, except this guy has one. It's like one big filter right here in the front, and so I have to like disassemble my mask, take out the filter. Sometimes I go through and I like clean the inside as well, because all of the moisture from like me breathing kind of builds up, and it starts to get a little dirty in there. And so then I put in a new filter, reassemble, and then I have a mask ready to go. And it is absolutely crazy to see the difference between like a filter that's been in there for a while and a brand new one, because the brand new ones are like nice, white, pristine, and then you compare it to the one that's in your mask and they're like brown, like a deep brown, and you're like, whoa. Like Keanu Reeves, whoa. Like, like, and so, and it's the same thing with my air purifiers. Like if I open up my air purifier and I compare like a brand new filter to like one that's been in there, it's like the old one is basically black, right? And then the new one is just like brand new, pristine white. And I take these, especially at my air purifiers at work, and I take them and I show them to my coworkers, and I'm like, look at this, like this is a real thing, pollution, and they're just like, I mean, that's not what they sound like. I mean, but once again, there's no alarm, there's no, I guess, if you grow up in it. Like, I never forget, it was heartbreaking once. One of my students was like, I've never seen a blue sky in the winter. And I was like, oh, like, that's sad. Like, I don't like winter. Bleh. I don't like winter. It's my least favorite. I was about to say month. I wish it was just a month. It's my least favorite season, right? But even I know, and I can appreciate like a nice snowy field with like a nice winter blue sky, right? Like that's beautiful to look at. And it really breaks my heart that like my students have never seen that in their entire life. Like, why is it so polluted in the wintertime especially? It's because China has heating, sorry. Like, sometimes I know phrases in Chinese and then I have to really think about what's the translation of that into English. But yeah, so it's like radiators. There you go, that's the word. Radiator heaters. And heating is controlled by the government. So like only the top half of China has these radiators that are heated via burning coal, right? This was like very old technology, and so it still burns a lot of coals in order to heat homes throughout China. And many people, almost all people in the northern half of China, because it like stops the line. They actually drew a line across China to divide it in half, and like the line stops right above Shanghai. And so like people in Shanghai don't get heat, but like literally you go up a couple of kilometers and they have heat. So it's really weird. Oh, there she goes. Hey, she's climbing Mount Everest. Go, Sophie, go. Good girl. Yeah, so they have to heat, homes somehow, especially if you have people all the way up in Dongbei, which is hella cold, or those people that are right up next to Russia. That gets hella cold too. So they need to burn all this coal and stuff in the wintertime to keep people warm. The problem is cold is hella polluting. And so you have, especially people in northern, like the very northern parts of China, horrible air quality the entire winter. They're the ones that are like at 500 every single day in the winter because they're so close to the coal burning factories. Like over time, wind will blow all that smog and stuff further down south. So like it hits Beijing and then it goes further down. And then by the time it gets to like Shanghai, it dissipates for the most part. But yeah, so people are like, oh, they should just change from coal into like another form. But it's like, how? They've been using coal as their primary source of heating for literally decades. And it's so integral to everyone's life. Everyone's home is connected to a radiator that is fueled by the government. Like, and not even just homes, businesses, hospitals, it's everywhere. So if you're going to change over and redo all of that infrastructure, how are you going to do it in time? Like, people still need heating. You can't not heat one year because you're doing construction to make it more energy efficient. Or I don't know. I don't understand how it works. Maybe they could be building all of the more energy efficient methods of, heating, whatever that may be. But the sad truth is that we still use coal because it's really effective. That's the sad truth. It gives off a fair amount of heat for a cheap price, and it's fairly easy to transport and deal with. So, until they invest or try to really figure out what to do, we're stuck with air pollution. And a lot of it too. And granted, yeah, like my Chinese friends say, it has gotten better, but it's still not good by any means. Like, it's bad. It's bad. Like, I have to go when I go outside, if you have to wear this just to go outside, it's not good. And so, yeah, I don't know. I don't have the answers. And so I just know I need to just survive. And if I end up with cancer or something 20 years from now, because despite all of these masks here and despite air, purifiers and everything, because I smoked the equivalent of, I breathed in the equivalent of how many packs of cigarettes, I can say at least I tried, like, and that's what other people say. They're just like, well, if I get sick later on, YOLO, whatever. But, I want to at least try to stay healthy, and plus asthma, like, asthma. Can I get an amen for the other asthmatics in the room? 'Cause I never forget, I did have an asthma attack not too long, not like last year, year before, and it was terrible. Like, I almost had to go to the hospital. I have a nebulizer that I can take my medicine in. I have my inhaler and all that stuff. So, yeah, that's my life every winter, and even sometimes not in the winter. In China, coughing. Oh, God. Okay, well, I'm done. That is my coughing fit. I need to go probably sit next to an air purifier. I need to check what the pollution is right now. Let me get my phone. Hang on. Current pollution level where I am is, checking, 168. Unhealthy. Let's see what else. No, and then Shanghai is beautiful. Shanghai is like 31. Shanghai is great compared to my hometown, Texas. Texas is 6. By the way, in Chinese, this is 6. In China, this is 6. Yeah. So, yay me. But it looks like it's windy. That's one thing I like about where I live. It's windy, so even if there is high pollution, if that wind picks up, it'll blow it away in like a day or two. So that's why I'm very thankful. But yes, that is my rant about pollution. I wasn't expecting to talk about that for the whole video, but yeah. Oh well. Alright, yeah, and that's it for me. I will see you guys next time. And no loud mouse click today. I'm sorry. Well, here, let me. There you go. That could be your loud mouse click. Bye.